guys, just recently had a clutch of eggs from a Volta Clown to a Volta Pastel Het Clown. It's some nice animals. I'm going to show you the cutting video, and then I'll show you the babies after they've been washed and then after they've shed. So a bit of a progressive video right through to the end. Enjoy. Okay, so I've got all my equipment out, and while I'm at it, I've got another clutch of eggs which are due tomorrow. So I am going to cut those as well. They're nice and flaccid, and they're quite well deflated, so I'm going to cut these as well. There they are. Very unusual. These are very large eggs, and as you can see, they're really baggy, flaccid, and they have been all the way through. They're really odd. I could feel the baby. Baby just kicked back on that one. Now, these are quite an unusual combination. So Mum is a Volta Het Clown, so she's a pastel Volta Het Clown, and Dad is a pastel Volta Clown. Now, I don't know if there's many of those around, but this is the first time we've put Volta Clown to Volta Het Clown. So there could be some very interesting clowns in here. The Volta Clown is very nice, very unusual. Recently showed pictures of it off on Facebook and Instagram. It was produced by myself and Mill Stacker at the Reptile Pit. And these are the results of growing the Volta Clown up and breeding it back to its mum. So let's have a look. So these guys are, well, actually he's the second now, so they're bang on day 60, so they're ready to rock and roll. So I'm just going to see how easy these, hey look, see how easy, they're very easy to pull apart. Wow, those babies are huge. They're coming apart with absolutely no resistance whatsoever, so they're more than ready. There's a couple there that look like they've got a bit more fluid in them than the rest, but we'll see how it goes. Excuse me. So I'm going to take this big baggy one to start with. Let's try and keep it in the camera if we can. Loads of goop. Okay, so let's have a look what we've got. I'm just going to put it down and open the window a little bit more. That's it. So that looks to me very, very large babies. I suppose coming from a Volta, you wouldn't expect anything else. So this is a pastel. Whether it's Volta or not, I don't know. You won't be able to tell till they've shed. You don't really see the coloration until they've shed. They get a lovely orange blushing, a bit sort of enchified. But that is a pastel 100% Het Clown, plus or minus Volta. So it's the first one. Really big babies, really big, much bigger than that. I was quite impressed with the size of the last clutch I cut, the blackhead clutch, but these guys are even bigger. So let's do this big, huge. I mean, these eggs. It's a shame I haven't got a set of scales up here. I'd weigh these, but they're quite large eggs. You can see I've got big hands. I'm 6'2", built, fairly well built, and you can see the size of my hands. And these eggs look massive, even in my huge hands. So let's have a look what we've got in here. A little bit more blood this time, so this one wasn't as ready. Oh, okay. That's another pastel. That's a bit different looking from the other one. It's got more banded and quite interesting looking. Huge, absolutely huge babies. So I haven't hit a clown yet. So obviously there's pastel on both sides of this breeding, so some of these actually could be, that could be the difference. That could be why that one's a bit more funkier. That could be a super pastel, but until I see its head, I'm not really going to be able to comment any further on that one. Okay, so there we go. Let's go on to number 3. This egg is even bigger. I know I keep saying it, but it's absolutely huge. I'm just going to grab a piece of tissue and give my hands a wipe. Again. Wipe some of this goo off that I spilled all over this egg as well. Well, that's got to be 150 grams at least. That egg is enormous. Okay, so let's have a little snip. Absolutely rubbish at keeping these things in front of the camera, as you can tell. I was hoping I'd get a bit more polish once I've done a few of these, but so far I haven't managed that. Oh, and there we go again. So, oh dear, halfway through the eggs, and I haven't hit a visual clown yet. That's quite an interesting one again. I think maybe super pastel, but I won't know until it comes out. So, if the odd gods are on my side, the next 3 should be clowns, but we'll see. I've had some pretty good odds so far with the other stuff I've hatched this year, so there's always that one clutch that doesn't comply. Okay, so have a little look in here. God, this egg is massive. That don't look like a clown to me. Well, whoa. Nope, that is definitely not a clown. Still quite a big lump of yolk there, so I won't pull it around too much. So, there we go. There should be at least 50% clowns if you're lucky. Well, I guess I used my luck up on the last clutch, because there we are. Very funky looking animal, but it's not a clown. Alright, let's get this really flaccid one off to the side here and have a look and see what we've got in this one. Yay! Finally we've got a clown, and that looks very interesting. And there we go. Very busy looking patterns on the sides and that. Can't really see a great deal of it. Can't really see the bit gooey, that one. Can't really see the orange of the, actually you can a little bit. You can see the Volta orange colour coming through on that one. So there's one clown. That would be really handy if that's a girl. Let's have a look at the last one. Oh, that is really gooey, that one. I love the pattern on the sides here. This bit here is gorgeous. Alright, last one. I'm willing to bet there's not a clown in there. The odds have been a bit rubbish so far, so why not continue in that route? The amount of goo that's come out of these eggs is massive. Right, got a whole swimming pool of it down there. Right, let's open this last one up. Fingers crossed. I was saying about how baggy these eggs are. They're definitely a different texture from your normal egg. I don't know if it's the Volta thing. I've not read much Volta stuff before. Oh, that's looking interesting. Oh, there we are. Okay, now that's a different colour again to that one. Wow, I like that. Very leopardy looking, but there's no leopard in there at all. So I've got an idea. Let's move it so that you guys can see it. There we go. There's so the second and the third Volta Clowns in the world. I don't know if anyone else has ever produced Voltas. It was just something that we decided to try, and that actually could be a killer Volta Clown. Looking at the blushing down the back, down the spine, and that on it. And if I remember rightly, I think the original guy that we made the Volta from was Blade as well. It looks quite reduced, the pattern on these guys. Be interesting to see when they're fully out. So let's look at the back on this one. No, that's different. The back on this one. I don't know, maybe. Don't know. They're definitely different looking. So I think that one is probably a pastel Volta, and that one there could be a super pastel Volta Clown. So I don't know. We'll get a better idea once they're out of the egg and they've had a shed. So these other guys will be quite interesting. I might keep one or two of these girls back, if they're girls obviously, for future projects, because the mum of these is absolutely huge. And that's not a massive clutch, but look at the size of the eggs. I mean, they're absolutely huge. So yeah, may keep some of them back and put them into future projects. Say this one here looks with all the blushing in it, and that one. There could be a couple of super pastels in there as well. So killer super pastels het clown. Sorry. I'm really tired and I'm waffling now, so I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to put these guys away and hopefully try and get... Hi guys, just an update on my Volta Clown clutch. This is a Volta Clown to a Volta Pastel Het Clown. This is one of the clowns that came out of that clutch. As you can see, she's got an amazing head stamp. Very unusual looking clown. It's got the colour of a Volta, so I'm pretty sure there is the Volta influence in there. It's got really interesting fingers down the sides, you know, what I call clown fingers, but they're filled with white checkering, which is quite interesting. She looks quite motley as well, and if you have a look at her tummy looks a bit like she's got the checkering from Yellow Belly, but there's no Yellow Belly in there either. So this one, when it first touched out, I thought this was a super pastel, but I'm pretty sure it's just a single level pastel Volta, and it's a female, and she's going to be staying put. Okay, the other clown is a bit puzzling to me. The original clown that we made the Voltas with was a leopard clown. There's no leopard in the other clown, the male that made this, and there's no leopard in the female. But this thing looks quite leopardy, but it can't be really. But if you have a look again, it looks quite down the sides. It's got those motley markings. It's got the nice fingers with the white inside again. But the head, it just looks like a leopard clown. I've got a leopard clown over there in a rack to my right, and it looks very much like that. It's a really nice animal, and again it's a girl, so she's going to be staying put. I think I'm going to keep her and continue with the Volta stuff and see what happens. Look at that head stamp, that swirl on top of her head. It's absolutely stunning, beautiful. I just checked that. I keep calling it her. The other one definitely is a girl, so I popped it. This one is also a girl. So there we are, a pair of Volta clowns, girls, and I'll be keeping those. The rest are all hets. It's quite interesting, you know, the Volta being a great big excuse me, the Volta being a region that produces huge ball pythons. So this is a pastel Volta clown. You can see the blushing, the orangey blushing's definitely coming through. I've had discussions with people about Volta, and they say, well, there's a certain percentage of Volta. The two parents are like 50%, so really these things should be about 75% Volta. But you can actually see the colour of the Volta coming through. So, and there's another theory that says if it's got the Volta colour, it's a Volta. But you know, it's up for debate. This so this is a het, and they're really big. They're 100 grams plus. I weighed them in the last video, and that's a girl. So I dare say one or two of these will be staying put as well. Another great big one here, which is a girl as well. So got interesting markings. See, these markings here are quite typical of an animal from the Volta region. She's got the blushing again as well. I mean, I can't. It's interesting, but well, I suppose pastel to pastel, they are all going to mostly be pastels anyway. But everything's pastel, and I think there's one that's super pastel. So there we go, another female Volta het clown. I'm just going to shut my phone up. So here's another chunk. So this is a great big one. This is a boy. I've already sexed this one. Again, it's got that blushing in between, in the yellow, in the pastel. It's got the obligatory Y shape that most of my pastels have on the back of its head. Don't know why that is. Never really explored it. And there you go. So there's a male pastel Volta het clown. Be interesting to see if these all colour up like the adults. The adults are really orangey. So this is the other one that I thought might be a super pastel because it was very light before it shed. But I'm not so sure now. There's a lot of blushing within the black. The blushing on the sides, and that it doesn't look funky enough to be a super pastel. And I suppose nobody's produced a super pastel Volta before, so not sure. I'd be amazed, you know, both the parents are pastels, that we didn't hear at least one super. But now it's shed, it's not looking so super to me, so I'm just going to call that a pastel het clown. It has got the Volta markings and everything in it, but this is the little one in the clutch. This one's only 79 grams instead of 100 and something, so I don't know, blushing on the sides. I thought it was a super pastel, but I'm not entirely convinced. But there you go. So that's an update on the Volta clowns. Have all shed off now. They'll all be boxed up this evening and see how they go. So thanks for watching. Bye. So there we go. Volta Clown project. It's been running a few years now. We got our first Volta Clown a couple of years ago, and now we've made a few more. So Volta Clown to Volta Clown will be quite interesting. As you can see, they're quite interesting looking animals. Got really, you know, they've got the typical Volta coloration. But I was a bit taken back by these clowns. They're a lot more spotty than the original fellow. A lot more leopardy looking. There was leopard in the mix, but neither of the actual adult animals are leopard. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll quickly grab him because he's right behind me, and I'll show you the Volta clown, and you can see the difference. Give me 2 seconds. Here he is. So he's a Volta pastel clown. As you can see, he's quite different from a normal looking pastel. He's got that lovely deep orangey hue from the Volta. He's got some amazing markings on his head. Actually, he has got quite a few like leopardy type spots, but both of the babies have got a lot more than him. So although they're not massively, vastly different from any other clowns, any other pastel clowns, well, I don't know, the sides are quite interesting looking. It's actually maintained some alien heads as well on the side, which is unusual for a clown. And you can see the contrast in his sides. Oops, keep the camera. You can see the contrast in his sides on the colour. You can really see where it fades down into from this dark orange into yellow, and the clown fingers are quite full of white. A bit very similar to the babies. I mean, there was Blade in the mix originally, so I suppose there's a possibility it could be Blade, but I really like him. I haven't mixed the Volta Clown in with anything else yet. I wanted to see what he did back to his mum, which I've now done. So look at that head, beautiful. So now that I'll start out across the into different morphs and see if we get anything more exciting. Thanks for watching.